I told you the right kind of debt makes you rich and wrong kind of debt keeps you poor? Many people struggle with debt because they are stressed with a bad debt. Whereas wealthy thinks differently. They think debt is a tool. Does your credit card balance feel like mountain can't climb, or are you unsure that having whether to buy a home with a loan, and is it in a right move? So in this video, let's understand about the good debt versus bad debt, what you need to know to build wealth. So what is debt? Debt is borrowed money that must be repaid, often with interest. Think of it as renting money. Think of it as a renting money. Means you are borrowing money from some other bank or somewhere or some other person or something. You're promising that you're paying interest on that. Good debt versus bad debt overview. So, not all debt is the same. Some can help you grow, while others can pull you down. Debt is like fire. It can cook your food or burn your house, depending on how you handle it. So, why people fear debt? Fear of high interest rates, stress of monthly payments, lack of knowledge about debt management. Good debt. So, what is good debt? Good debt is any debt that helps you create wealth or improve your financial position over time. So, what are the examples of the good debt? Mortgage, student loans, business loans, real estate investments. So, a house is a long term investment. You're building equity, which is like forced savings that grows over time. Over decades, home prices tend to rise steadily, often outpacing inflation and building wealth through increased property value. The next is the student loans. Education is one of the best investments. The higher your qualification, the more you are likely to earn. On average, college graduates earn 84% more than high school graduates over their lifetime. Business loans. Successful entrepreneurs use debt to find their businesses, scale faster, and increase profits. Examples like Amazon or Tesla starting with loans. Real estate investments. Using a loan to buy rental properties. Let's you earn monthly rent and build wealth as a property value increases. For example, if you buy a property for 3 lakhs and it generates 2000 in rent monthly, you are turning debt into wealth. So what are the benefits of good debt? Good debt builds wealth, helps you acquire appreciating assets. Low interest rates in some cases, example mortgages, student loans. So you yourself think about some good debt which you have. For example, having this property itself, it's definitely builds wealth. See, when something happens once you become older, you're giving this house to your children, and your children will give that house to your grandchildren. Correct. So it builds wealth, helps you acquire appreciating assets. These are the assets. Low interest rates in some cases. If you compare personal loan to the home loan, so personal loan is very expensive. They will tell the banks will nowadays ask for 11 to 12, 13, 14% interest on the personal loan, whereas the house loan is just 8.5 to 9% most of the cases. What I have seen. So how to identify good debt? Positive return on investments. If the benefit outweighs the cost of borrowing, it's good debt. Affordable repayment terms. Purpose. Does it help you achieve your long term goals? So that is how you can identify the good debt. You should be able to judge by yourself. So what is it yielding in the long time? Will I be having some sufficient money over a long time? You have to think, you have to achieve your long term goals. By thinking, does it help you? So the next is a bad debt. Bad debt is debt that drains your resources, doesn't generate income, and often leads to financial stress. So, what are the examples of bad debt? Credit card debt, payday loans, auto loans, unnecessarily taking auto loans, personal loans for luxuries, high interest rates. See, nowadays 20 to 30% they charge on the credit card. Most of any company make it nearly impossible to pay off balances. Example, if you only pay the minimum on it could take you 20 years to pay it off. So the next is payday loans. Payday loans are short term loans with very high interest rates that can trap people in a cycle of debt. For example, if you borrow 10,000 through a payday loan, you might have to pay back 12,000 or more in just 2 weeks, making it very expensive to borrow. So don't go for this kind of bad debt. The next is auto loans. Unnecessarily taking a car loan. Buying expensive cars. You can't afford so much of money. Leave this kind of mentality. Okay. So you think what is your affordable price? Buying a very expensive car is not good. You simply keep paying interest and money. Buying expensive cars and loans often leads to negative equity because cars lose value quickly and you may owe more than the car is worth. Cars lose 10, 20 to 30% of their value the moment you drive them off a lot. The moment you touch the car and driven for few years, the value is gone because you've already driven that. Personal loans for luxuries. Borrowing for vacations, gadgets, or weddings can hinder long term financial growth because you're paying off debt for things that don't build lasting value or generate income. What are the consequences of bad debt? High interest payments eat into your income, causes financial stress, and limits future opportunities. Negative impact on the credit score. How to avoid bad debt? Budget and save for big purchases instead of borrowing. So don't keep borrowing every time from all the people. Budget and save for big purchases. Ask yourself, do I really need this or can I wait? Use cash or debit for discretionary spending. So understand when you can use cash and debit card instead of using always credit card. Good debit versus bad debt comparison. So the key difference: good debt generates income, it builds your wealth, low interest rates, and positive return on investment. Whereas a bad debt is it drains your resources, diminishes wealth, high interest rates, negative return on investment. Decision framework for debt. Ask yourself these three questions now, right away. Ask these three questions yourself. Will this debt help me grow financially or personally? Will this debt help me grow financially or personally? Can I afford the monthly payments without stress? Can you afford? Think that. Is this purchase aligned with my long term goals? Build wealth using good debt. Leverage debt to build assets. Invest in real estate. Invest in education. Expand a business. Use a mortgage to buy a rental property. Over time, property values go up, and the rent you earn from tenants helps pay off your mortgage and can give you extra money. Invest in education. Someone who earns a higher salary due to a professional degree. To expand a business, small businesses can grow by using loans. To invest in things like inventory, equipment, or marketing will help increase the sales and profits. The tips for managing good debt. Pay on time and to maintain a good credit score. Refinance high interest loans for lower rates. Keep your debt to income ratio below 30%. What are the strategies to eliminate bad debt? Debt snowball method. Pay off the smallest debt first to build momentum. So debt avalanche method. Focus on paying off high interest debt first. So use balance transfers or debt consolidation loans to reduce interest. Actionable tips and bonus strategies. Build an emergency fund. So avoid falling into debt due to unexpected expenses. Improve financial literacy. Read books, watch useful videos, or join courses. Track spending. Use apps like YNAB are meant to monitor your debt and expenses. Know your credit score. A good credit score lowers the cost of borrowing. Avoid lifestyle inflation. As your income grows, avoid the temptation to spend more. Invest the difference instead. So, now the conclusion is key takeaways. Good debt is your partner in building wealth, while bad debt is the enemy of financial freedom. The key is knowing the difference and making informed decisions. So, always remember your financial future depends on how you manage and leverage debt starting today. If you found this video valuable, please give it a like, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and don't forget to subscribe my channel for more tips on building financial freedom. So here's an exciting opportunity in the below description. Join my free webinar. The link is there. Join my free webinar, Transform Your Finances, where I will guide you step by step on taking control of your money. Plus, all participants will receive my exclusive ebook as a bonus gift. Join my community directly. You'll be having, you can learn, you will be in my inner circle calls every week. You can ask me a lot of questions and answers. We can discuss on that. Okay, so the final words are take the first step today, learn, grow, and take control of your finances. Together, we will unlock the doors to financial freedom. I will see you in the webinar.